you're giving up, what keeps you motivated to keep going and keep trying?
Ooh, what keeps me motivated? Man, that's tough because for me, motivation like changes for me, like what really gets me going. Okay, I'll tell you this. Recently, so I just finished this book called The Untethered Soul. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's by Michael Singer. And one of the last chapters is about death. And it's about how death will always be like our constant marker in like checking our reality, because we all have more than likely felt death in our lives or with family members, or just a major sense of loss. And so this chapter, I'll try and make this long story short, is about death and how if death came knocking on your door and was saying you had a week to live, how would you react? And most people would be like, "Oh, I'm not ready to die. I got to do this. I got to do that. I still have this plan. I still have that." And death would be like, well, why haven't you done it yet? What's holding you back? And so when you put it in that perspective of like, you know, death, we're not immortal. Like we all are going to die at some point. And I feel that for me, this chapter was really talking about death to be like, if you haven't been doing or living your fullest life, like you need to start doing that now. Because somebody who's living to their true potential or their true self or their true life, if death came knocking on their door, they'd be happy. They'd be like, "Oh, well, that's fine. I'm ready to go because I've done everything I want to do," you know, or I've really have lived life to the fullest moment to moment. And so lately, what's been motivating me is like thinking about that. Like life is so precious and we kind of forget about that. And so to be reminded that like accidents happen and not to sound dark, but things, you know, we're not promised days forever. So what motivates me is like, hey man, this could be your last day on earth. Like get moving, start living life fully and be happy, love one another, be kind to one another, because we don't know if we have tomorrow. We really don't. Nothing is guaranteed. And he saves the convention. All right, next question.
Hi, how you doing?
What's up, dude? I'm good, man.
Okay, my question is Joseph Morgan, aka Krause, okay with you working with Freya Michelson on Roswell, New Mexico?
Oh, that's a great question. Man, I don't have the answer to that. When's Joseph here tomorrow?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I need to ask it. You know, we did do a convention. I should have asked him. We did a convention over the summer in Brussels, and I didn't ask him how he felt about that. If I would have to guess, I'm going to say that he would be angry or disappointed and would have none of it. And that's because if it has anything to do with me, it pisses him off, and he wants none of it. So that would be my guess.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Megan. And my question was, well, since I'm in rock climbing school, and I wanted to know if you had any tips, and I wanted to ask you what drove you and what got you started, and how long have you been at it?
So, your question was what got me into this business, how I started?
Yeah.
Well, look, I was, you know, I grew up in Los Angeles, so I was fortunate enough to be somewhere so close to where movies and television and entertainment, you know, capital of the world. And so for me, it was always just like, well, they seem to be having a lot of fun. I want to be a part of that. How do I get to be a part of that? And like anything, you kind of educate yourself and you do some research. And I bought a book from, I can't remember if it was Borders or Barnes and Noble, but it was a book titled How to Be a Working Actor. And I was like, I'm gonna read this book, and maybe it's got the answers. And it basically just talked about how, you go into acting classes and how to get an agent and a manager and what they do for you, the different types of acting, I suppose, and it kind of broke it down as a business and how to go in seeking representation. And so after I read that, I first and foremost got into an acting class and started practicing. And so at the same time of like taking acting classes and learning about the craft and trying to open myself up, I also learned like, okay, send a headshot to these agents and send a resume. And then I was I also sent a cover letter with them, you know, and sent them all out and mailed them all out at the time. And so I got really lucky in getting representation. But first and foremost, I would say just if performing is something you want to do, you have to practice. And so I would get to an acting class and start performing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi. My question is, what is your favorite Tyler relationship?
My favorite Tyler relationship? Caroline. Always and for all of you.
Caroline.
Thank you. Hi there.
My name is Bella, and my question is, would you rather be a werewolf or a hybrid?
We'll go with, well, no, let's keep it old school. I was going to go with that, but werewolf. I would say werewolf. I would say go with, how it all started. Yeah. I hope that answers your question.